Welcome, ClearSpeak Academy channel. Story: The Voice in the Stone. In the quiet village of Elmsworth, surrounded by misty hills and thick woods, lived a humble stonemason named Ewan. He was known for his skill in carving statues so lifelike they seemed to breathe. Yet despite his talent, Ewan lived in a small, crumbling cottage, working tirelessly to earn just enough for bread and firewood. One day, an old traveler arrived in Elmsworth carrying nothing but a walking stick and a pouch of herbs. He stopped at Ewan's workshop and admired a statue of a weeping angel the mason had just completed. "You carve with your soul," the traveler said, "but you have no joy in your heart." Ewan shrugged. "Joy does not feed an empty stomach." The traveler smiled and pulled out a small, dull stone from his pouch. "Carve this," he said. "But listen to it first." Ewan frowned. "Stones don't speak." "Not with words," said the old man. "But with truth. All you must do is listen with more than your ears." Amused but curious, Ewan accepted the stone. It was ordinary, rough, gray, and light. He placed it on his work table and stared at it for hours. At one point, he thought he heard something, a faint hum, a whisper just at the edge of thought. He shook it off and began to carve. As his chisel met the stone, strange things began to happen. The stone was unlike any other he had worked on. It seemed to shift slightly with every stroke, guiding his hand. He wasn't carving it, it was revealing itself to him. When the statue was done, it was of a young girl, eyes closed, hands outstretched as if offering something invisible. Her expression held a serenity that moved people to tears. Villagers gathered to see the masterpiece. Word spread quickly, and soon, rich patrons came from nearby towns, offering gold and land for it. But Ewan refused to sell. "This one is not mine to sell," he said. That night, the traveler returned. "You heard the stone," he said, smiling. Ewan nodded. "It told me a story without words." "Then your heart is open," said the old man. "And open hearts create more than beauty, they create meaning." The traveler handed Ewan a second stone, this one even smaller than the first. Over the weeks that followed, Ewan carved many more statues, each more profound than the last. People came not just to admire, but to reflect, to feel. His workshop became a sanctuary for the weary. But with fame came envy. A wealthy merchant named Harrow, jealous of Ewan's growing renown, bribed a servant to steal one of the stones before it was carved. When Harrow tried to force a sculptor to work on it, the stone shattered under the first strike of the chisel. Furious, he stormed to Ewan's cottage. "What secret do you hide in these stones? Why do they break for others but sing for you?" Ewan looked at him kindly. "I do not own the secret. The stones simply speak to those who listen." The merchant scoffed. "Stones don't speak, not with words," Ewan replied, "but with truth." Years passed, and Ewan became known not as a stonemason, but as a soul sculptor. He continued to live simply, never seeking riches. He taught others who came with patience, heart, and humility. To each student, he gave a stone and a lesson. Listen first, carve later. One day, when he was old and gray, Ewan passed peacefully beside his very first sculpture, the girl with the outstretched hands. After his death, villagers noticed something peculiar. The expression on her face had changed. It was still peaceful, but now, it seemed to smile ever so gently. No one could explain it. Some said it was magic. Others said it was light and shadow. But those who had truly listened to the stone, like Ewan once did, knew the truth. Moral of the story: true wisdom and creativity come from listening deeply, not just to others, but to life itself. When you act with humility and heart, even the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Thanks for watching.